Yes, here we are once again. Which of course means it's noon Eastern time on a Wednesday. It's time for the High Noon Hemp Show. Of course, you can find us video on demand and live, of course, on Facebook at Temptations Beach, the Facebook page, also the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and at Temptations on Twitter. If you just don't want to see all of this, you just want the audio, that's cool too. We don't judge. Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, all of those places. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show for the podcast. I am Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs you can check out. He is Beach, high above the Temptations, in Sharonville at the Hemp Quarters. Beach took last week off. How have things been the last couple weeks in the world of Temptations?
Most excellent, I would say. Temptations pretty status quo. We're starting to see the holidays rush kind of starting to come through. That's for sure. Mary and I actually went down to Memphis last weekend for a concert. Went to see AJ Croce. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but I'm telling you, check this guy out. It's Jim Croce's son. I was turned on to him about 20 years ago with his second album, and he's just a great piano player, same energy, does some of his dad's songs. But this really great concert. Lucky enough to run into him on the street, open the door for him, let him in. That was cool. And while we were there, relevant to hemp, well, I did find some hemp on the street. Literally, it was like a food cart, and it was Delta 8 and CBD. At first, because I asked her, it's like, is that THC? And she's like, yeah, it's THC. I said, oh, it's Delta 8 in there. And it's like, yeah. So then it made me think now, I'm actually going to have to call THC cannabis Delta 9 cannabis. Even though there is a legal amount of Delta 9 THC in CBD, that 0.3 number. But I always referred to THC cannabis, what they call marijuana. I hate the word marijuana. THC. But now I'm going to have to, now we have Delta 8 THC. We have Delta 10 THC. I don't know how many numbers we're going to get going up and down from starting to, I think it's interesting now. It's, started at Delta 9. It's the big one in the middle somehow. Now all of a sudden they got Delta 8, Delta 10 is the next one they discover going to be named Delta 7. And we're just going to be playing this game as to get away from Delta 9. I don't know. But we've seen a lot of popularity, obviously, in the Delta 8. But, yeah, they had it was kind of fun because their hemp leaves on their truck were kind of the same kind of hemp leaves that I try to use. It's a great idea. Somewhere like that. I've been thinking about taking the Hemptations enclosed trailer, which is wrapped. Hemptations planted everywhere. I've got the five hemp facts for your brain unit going down the sides and and all that, and thinking about driving that around town when there's games and stuff on, just as advertising. But now I'm like, shoot, man, get a. I think you have to purchase some type of separate sales thing from the city, but to walk them right through there, get all their deltas and CBDs and stuff. Might just turn that into a mobile store. See how that goes, maybe, huh? Well, there is a serious thought for you folks right here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Very much related to Hemptations. So,
indeed.
And we did get to see some of that destruction that happened with the tornadoes. They were setting the alarms off in Memphis. Now, we never saw the tornadoes, but coming back, man, we did get to see a lot of that destruction. Man, nature is crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, let's get on with the show. The product spotlight, as I say, 4 from the store, 1 from my door. This first one is a new product to us. Speaking of Delta 8, Space Walker Delta 8, and we've got gummies and vapes and some different flavor breakdowns. Again, these are new to our Delta 8 lineup, which we have pretty well, including our own Delta 8 products at this point, Hemptations brand. This another new product. These are interesting. Because these are hemp smokes, but they're actually CBG flower. So this is Versa. They make 4 different like cigarette type. We called them hempettes. And so hempettes, I guess we can still be hempettes. They're CBG, but still hempettes. Hemp smokes. I think there's a menthol, a sweet, cherry, and original, they call it. I don't know what that original means. Non-flavored, but just whatever the flower tasted like, possibly. And then in the middle there, you've got pre-rolls, single pre-rolls, which come in cherry, grape, and I believe original as well. And again, this is CBG flower. And so I think we're finding, if anything, right now that CBG flower and CBG itself is a good daytime isolate to use. I think we're seeing a lot of the same benefits from CBG, and it's also new that really, we're still getting customer feedback. There's still some even if it's here research done, get some feedback from our customers, because we've been selling CBG flower for a while. We have CBG in capsules as well, CBG in tincture, and now the CBG in some pre-rolls, and we had some CBG pre-rolls as well. And so hopefully we start getting some feedback from the customers as to how they're benefiting by using CBG one way or another. We just got a fresh batch of the green Gruff dog treats in. So get yourself some of these if you've got a dog that, you either want to ease, soothe, or relax. Again, I can't say it. I've said it a million times. We use them on our Doberman, especially when thunderstorm or CBD, whether it's these or any of them. I kind of mix it up a little bit, as to what I use, just to see. I know I have given her these and she really did like them. But of course, she'll eat anything, and she likes almost anything put in front of her to eat. So it's not. It might not be the CBD part, but we do see a difference. I mean, she is instantly calmer, or not instantly. It takes a little bit to get through her, but eventually she calms down and stops pacing and digging at the floor and some of the things that she does when the thunderstorms are near. And so get your dog, get your mutt some green Gruff CBD if you think it needs it. And then this next one is more winter stuff. I've been trying to throw some winter stuff in there. These shows, it's actually kind of nice, been beautiful the last couple days. And I know a lot of places make the joke, if you don't like the weather here, just wait a day. But it is super true.
Yeah.
Here, honestly, we very rarely go through streaks of weather that we can. I don't know. Seems like summer is decently predictable, but even then, it's crazy. But anyway, it's definitely that time. But here's some of the winter hats. Keep your head, or your kids. I think these are the kid sizes. Some of those, even up at the Sharonville store again. That's the inventory there, and we should have a little bit of these. Hopefully, at some of the other stores if you go in there and try to find them. And the one from my door, or from the store one from my door, are my stackable shelves. I've been talking a lot about hemp wood, using hemp board for things. This is a untreated press board, more or less, made out of hemp, and then we just cut them into the exact same size, made these exact same size boxes, so I can stack them any way I want to. Really, I could put them vertical if I want, horizontal. I could, build a bridge. I don't know, all kinds of stuff, which I thought was pretty neat. This is how we did them at the house, and then eventually I think they got filled up with Funkos. Now we're moving stuff around a little bit, so they might make their home up here in my office, or out in the Funatorium, where I'm just going to keep building the hemp stuff we have out there, which is where the hemp museum is right now. I have to show a picture of that again.
Mhm.
here at my office, high above the Sharonville location. Um, maybe we'll charge for that someday, and people can come walk through the hemp museum.
There you go.
How much does that cost? How much is that worth? $1? Here's $1. That's from the Trailer Park Boys. um, so there you have it, folks, on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from the store, 1 from my door.
Indeed.
Now,
I know a lot of people last week they were just lost, absolutely lost, because they didn't have the guidance that they get every week from Beach in our Beachwear segment, or Fashion Hemp Collide, Fashion and Hemp Collide. And I don't know what they did, but they made it to this week, so we can help them this week, and that's what we're going to do. Because I asked Beach a very important question, and that is this question: what are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. You know, if you're just waking up, you're curious. It's Wednesday. It's high noon here in Eastern Standard Time. What's that guy wearing? What are you wearing, Beach? Well, now you're going to know. I've got a classic Hempies Racer hat, my Headcase Hemptations tee, old Hemptations tee there. My sweatshirt, I found 2 of these while we were moving some stuff around at the house. I have no idea who made it. I love them. They have really long cuffs. They're like super nice and soft. And I have no idea who made them or where I got them from. And honestly, it's just kind of baffling. I don't think we ever sold them in the store. And if we did, you were lucky to get one. But you know, I just call it the question mark sweatshirt. And I'm just so happy that I found them, and I have 2 of them. And so, debuting on today's High Noon Hemp Show, what are you wearing, Beach segment? The sweatshirt that has no name.
Nice.
Hempy's belt, holding up those Kentucky Hemp Outfitters Carpenter jeans. You can see my Green Spring Technology pen there hanging out of the pocket. Some good old Satori Canna Leaf socks. Forgot my Hemptopia briefs underneath all of it. My Satori Canna Leaf socks, and then my Saucony sneakers. You call them sneakers, you call them shoes, you call them gym shoes. You know, I don't know. I like the word sneaker. I don't know how they, and I guess it's maybe the sound that they originally made. I don't know how they ever got, were you quieter when you wore sneakers? So you could sneak around? I don't know how they got that nickname. Is that a southern thing? Is it a northern thing? Because I grew up and I kind of got a little of both. I kind of grew up in the South, but I have more Yankee in me, I suppose. If you want to say it like that. Yankee was a derogatory term.
Mm-hmm.
And we were called Yankees in Kentucky because we spoke the Queen's English compared to theirs. Just one, you know. But anyway, there you have it, folks. That's what I'm wearing today on a very casual High Noon Hemp Show Wednesday. Now let's get on to the news, because man, we are international with it today. I'm going all over this planet with today's news. But I'm going to start right here in the good old US of A. There is a federal bill. It's called the CBD Product Safety and Standardization Act. And it would require the FDA to regulate similarly to any other, regulate CBD similarly to any other food ingredient and as a food additive. It would make it subject the products to enforceable safeguards and establish CBD content limits. That's interesting. And then also could do some packaging and labeling requirements. And so, the FDA has been, I've been talking about it for 2 years. The FDA has been dragging their feet for years, and they just recently kind of came out and said we're not going to do anything, and so that's why this is happening. Now I don't know if it'll make it to. I don't even know if it'll see a vote. We'll hopefully go to discussion and possibly get in front of Congress, but we'll see. But I do like someone forcing the FDA to do something. And again, it's very positive. Again, to required to regulate just like any other food or any other food additive. Come up with the nutritional values that you need or whatever, just like the part where it's talking about packaging and labeling. Whatever you need to put on that label, CBD contains this, CBD is not this, whatever it may or may not be. I don't know. But make it so that it is in fact FDA approved. And so we'll see how far that goes, but I'm glad that someone is doing something else to make the FDA move forward with some type. Well, they've already said that they don't really want to mess with it, but which is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, One Green Planet article: what to wear instead of wool and mohair this season. And I quote from the article: not only is hemp vegan, but the hemp plant is also great for the environment. Well, who hasn't said that 100 times in the last 2 years as well? Very much true. And another reason, and again, you might say, well, what's wrong with wool? What's wrong with mohair? The work we're doing, and there is a difference between organic or natural shearing and not. When they shear the wool normally or the mohair off of the animals, I'm pretty sure those animals get a little scuffed up and cut and whatever. And again, does it grow back? Do they seem to be okay? Sure. I'm not, it's definitely, I think it's definitely more natural than silk because, silk, and you say whatever you want, but silk, you got to boil the spider that made the silk for the most part to get the silk. So the poor spiders don't get out in the whole thing, I don't think, when it comes to making silk. A lot of people would say, well, that's good because I hate spiders. Don't hate spiders. Spiders are good creatures. There are a couple species of spider that you want to at least stay away from. You don't have to hate them. Just avoid them.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, spiders are really good things for the planet. And if you hate bugs, you should hate bugs more than you hate spiders. The spiders take care of the bugs. Anyway, yes, use more hemp, especially this winter. 100% hemp is just pretty thick, and so it should be decently warm anyway. New York is restarting their hemp processor licensing. I guess that's been down for a couple months. So if you wanted to try to get a license in hemp processing in the state of New York, and they got some really goofed up CBD and hemp laws that they passed in New York, but and then of course this doesn't surprise me. It sounds like something Ohio would do is they come up with some really goofed up laws and then not even let you try to do what they are doing. But if you've been trying to get a hemp processing license in New York in the last couple months and failing miserably, apparently that door is open back up. And I feel like, and I'm not positive if it's New York, it's one of those states where like you can't sell if it's not processed or made in the state. There's a couple states that are doing that with CBD and hemp stuff somehow. And I don't even get how it's commercially legal for them to do that. But anyway, here's cool. We got a picture here. This is a ticket. This is the yellow. Yeah, this is a ticket. And this ticket is for Berlin's public transport system. Okay, so now if you're going to ride Berlin's public transport system, you can buy this ticket. And you're like, well, who cares? Why is this ticket special? You can see it's got a hemp leaf on it right there. Okay, why has it got a hemp leaf on it? Because it's edible and it's got CBD in it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You can see right away that Hanf is the German word, German word for hemp.
Hmm.
You've got your Hanf ticket, and it's packaged up there. Now I saw that it's only like 3 drops, and they describe it as hemp oil. They don't say CBD. I don't know why they, again, it's not that inexpensive, and I really think they're like I had to read the whole article, and I'm not positive, folks, that this is still real. But the article looked very real, and they even mentioned how Berlin's public transportation comes up with wacky stuff to try to sell you every once in a while for whatever reason. And so, if it's not real, it's genius and done very, very well. I mean, I want to go to Berlin now and buy a Hopf ticket.
So you can eat it.
And you can ride the public transport and then eat it. Um, and so, and maybe I'll just start making, I could use the hemp paper that I have. I feel like it should be good. Try some oil and sell some people some outfit tickets to something here.
Yeah.
Anyway, how fun is that? Again, I was pretty convinced after I looked at the article and everything that this really was happening. Again, if it's not, then it's a genius joke article. If you're around Berlin, you want to enjoy some hemp oil while riding the train or public transport.
Perfect ticket for the hemp museum tour.
Yeah, there you have it. There you have it, folks.
Yeah.
It's all in the works now. It's all in the works now. Holy wow. Totally great. All right, back in Europe. We're in Europe again. The European Parliament is upping the THC content of hemp from 0.2% to 0.3%. And it's kind of interesting because they were only working with about 70 varieties that were the 0.2%. Now with the 0.3%, they say it's opened it up to like 500 varieties. And so that there kind of tells you how many CBD varieties, most more than likely, have popped up in the last couple years. When I was checking hemp cultivars worldwide, and again, grain or fiber before CBD, there were, I think, about 80 to 100 that I remember that were approved for international use, so to speak, under international standards of industrial hemp. The United States wasn't growing then, but those were the states, or those were the amounts that were available. And then I think it grew to maybe about 150, and now there's at least 500 varieties of what is defined as industrial hemp. Now, again, that's probably still the same 80 to 100 fiber and grain seed, and 400 or so new CBD varieties. Again, we have thousands of Delta 9 varieties. And now we're going to, soon enough, we'll have thousands of CBD varieties and hundreds of CBG, because there's not a whole lot of CBG, but they are able to grow CBG flower that has enough content on its own that you don't have to do it. With the Delta 8 and all these other isolates, they're being extracted from legal industrial hemp, and then commonly either sprayed back on CBD flower, or put into a cart, disposable, or gummies, edibles. That's what's going on with these other isolates. CBN, same thing. It's in there, but it's such low amounts that the only way to get the benefit from it is to extract it and up that dose, so to speak, or amount of it by itself. Okay, and excuse me. Good for the European parliament, but the Czech Republic saying, we ain't no fools. We're going 2022. They're going to raise their TH content to 1%. And we've been talking about this for, in the United States since we got our 0.3%. And because we see fields of industrial hemp that only had 0.5% THC in them destroyed for no reason. Here comes the Czech Republic. And it doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of industrial hemp grown over there. Now, of course, they're really kind of coming on. Europe's coming into the CBD thing too. Don't get me wrong. But there is a lot more countries. Again, we were the last industrialized country in the world to legalize industrial hemp. We were the last industrial country in the world. Industrial country to make hemp legal. Canada just made it not too long before us. Other countries, in Europe, it might have been a brief amount of time. France never stopped, but Russia, I can't see that. I don't know why they would have ever stopped, but apparently, they did. The Ukraine, huge, and so, and that's where a lot of those cultivars I found were going back in those days, was over there, or they were coming from there, I should say. I remember when the economy was bad, like 10 years ago. Ironically, the federal government came out and said we should be buying, and I think it was a support for, I don't know if it was because of the economy. It wasn't because the economy was bad. It was because the Ukraine was having issues with Russia and its independence. And the Ukraine's like one of the largest producers of the hemp seed in the world, I guess. And so they were trying to get us to buy from them to support them. And so, it's a kind of interesting, some of the stuff it does come out of Europe. The last quilt that I bought came from the Ukraine. It took 2 or 3 months to get here, but it did finally show up. And so, there's a lot more, I think, European production of everyday products probably than there is in the United States. And again, China is making a lot of hemp stuff one way or another, most of the fibers. So here comes the Czech Republic. Again, if you're growing for the fiber or the seed, that THC content shouldn't matter anyway. Now, it's kind of interesting. And I'll get to why that 1% is kind of interesting in a minute when it comes to driving. Because I know there's something else here about that. Tennis player Andy Murray. If you fell for his ads for CBD, it's not him. He's the latest. I haven't seen one of these for a while. I think they were getting checked, and then Clint Eastwood won a bunch of money from one of them because they used his image on their CBD gummy ad. But looks like they're back at it, using Andy Murray, the tennis player. He doesn't know anything about it. Well, he does now. But as the songs go, it wasn't him. But Lamborghini is releasing a CBD coffee. Okay, another one of those wacky companies. And here's what's interesting about this. I'm pretty sure that there is a Ferrari hookah or water pipe. I know one of the, again, there was a big name automaker that put their name on a smokable device. It was like super exotic, overpriced water pipe or something. But Lamborghini says, well, let's start with CBD. We'll come up with some CBD coffee. Because if you drive a Lamborghini, you need coffee. I'm like, I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure that adrenaline rush alone is gonna keep me going. But I would like to know that if you are drinking coffee and driving your Lamborghini, that it has CBD in it. That makes me feel better.
There you go.
So we'll see. We'll see if we can't find some. I wonder how much that's going to be a bag. You only get one choice of color bag, that's for sure. Oh, this is kind of cool. This is some plant-based gelato, but it's a kitchen article. I think we got a pic of this stuff, and the title of the article is, "I just went to a plant-based trade show, and this hemp ice cream was the best thing I tried all day." And so this is a company called Wonderlab, and they're called Doozy Pots, but it's all plant-based, no dairy, plant-based gelato. And so we had a hemp scream for a while that I was getting. We haven't had it. But again, I do think that finding the right formula using hemp milk to make hemp ice cream, and of course, the milk company and the ice cream company say, don't call it that, because it's not milk unless it comes from dairy, and it's not ice cream unless it comes from dairy. Somehow, even though it's called ice cream. So I feel like whatever the ice is made out of is what's important. But anyway, hopefully these might make it to the shelves around here somewhere. I'll start checking the local stores to see if we can get this stuff, get some hemp gelato in our bellies. And it did say that they were, would have been convinced that this particular product had dairy in it or whatever. I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot of gelato. I don't know what makes gelato different than ice cream. I know that I love Graters, and Graters uses the French pot method. And so, there's an interesting, I don't know the difference there. I know sorbet. I don't think sorbet is normally dairy based, but I don't know that for sure either. I don't think so. But anyway, if you find it, get yourself a doozy pot. Have some hemp in your gelato. It's good stuff. Here we go. A Swiss study published in Forensic Sciences Research Journal has found CBD dominant cannabis does not impact driving ability. And so participants consumed either a placebo or 16.6% CBD, 0.9% THC.
Oh,
Okay. 0.9%
good stuff.
THC for this study. That's right. That's the good. That's the good. That's the illegal industrial hemp. That's that black market industrial hemp right there. But yeah, 0.9% THC. Three times the legal limit here in the United States. And so, and what they found, once again, does not impact driving. No symptoms of impairment and no significant impact on driving ability were found. And it wasn't a whole lot of people. So it's going to be, again, we're seeing this. This is, I think, the second study that I've actually reported on that showed, and I believe the other one was actually in Europe as well, that showed CBD has no impairment issues when it comes to driving, no safety issues when it comes to driving. And so, and then, there's also now we get up to at least 0.9% saying, okay, see that 1% is okay, even when it comes to consuming and safety and things like that. And so, I think a lot of people, and again, I think the benefits you can get with that 1% THC outweigh the fear or the, whatever of not wanting THC in your CBD or whatever it may be. And again, it should just be an option. We should have every option and formulation and whatnot of this to that and, this and all that. And so, there we go, folks. Once again, CBD is safe to drive on if you have to. Sultry. This is interesting company. I think this we do have a little picture of their line of stuff there. But they have launched what is being called India's first Ayurvedic hemp product line, and it contains 100% certified organic hemp seed oil. Um, and so, uh, that's huge in India. For them, I'm sure, because if they're the first, there's a lot of people, and we'll see. If it really goes over well over there, then we'll see it on the shelves over here. And I can only guess. Everything that I know, it won't be that expensive. Um, because there aren't a whole lot of things in India that aren't really that expensive or exclusive. That's just not how they operate. And so, good for them. Hemp is is really, I think, growing in India. No pun intended. Right now, and so we're going to be seeing more and more products coming out of India, I believe, for sure. Oh, The Witcher, the Witcher actress. I don't know if any of you watched The Witcher on Netflix, but Anya Shalatra, Chalatra. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. I apologize for that, Anya. She released her low-key beauty routine, which of course includes rose hemp oil. And so, just another famous person coming out saying, "This is how I stay pretty." Anyway, so hemp oil for beauty, of course. Why not? All right. This last pick we've got here. This is what I'm going to start calling my buy of the week. So vpreggae.com has this what they call hemp racer jacket on sale for $35. The natural one has all sales available, and I think they're men's sizes. And then they actually have a reversed one where it's brown with natural cuffs, but they only have an extra large. So I'm gonna start going online too and seeing if I can find hemp stuff. It's going to be a new kind of segment or additive to the news, maybe. Maybe I'll just end the show with, if I don't have a question or any thoughts, I'll just say product of the week. Go online and buy. I think this jacket's pretty cool. It's regular, only $65. The outside is hemp, the inside is cotton. But on sale right now at vpreggae.com. Just put in hemp racer jacket on sale for $35. So that's the hemp deal of the week. And I'll try to find more of these and have more of these on the High Noon Hemp Show. I think we're at a place in the hemp world. We're bringing the viewers a deal or two of the week, or 10. Maybe I'll, if they're really deals, I'm going to tell them all.
Yeah. Oh, do we have Frozen Beach? I believe we do.
We glitched there for a second. I'm not sure what happened.
Maybe they didn't like the deal.
Damn it.
It's too much for the internet.
So I don't know how much you missed or how much you saw. We're still glitched on
10 seconds, I believe. It wasn't long.
Let's okay. Yes, I think it's the feed is starting again on YouTube.
Oh, another little glitch. See, the deal of the week is overwhelming the internet. It's just too much. I don't know if this can be a regular thing or not. It's going to shut down the internet. People are clamoring. They're clamoring for it. So wait for Beach to come back. While you're waiting, of course, see the crawl along the bottom. Locations for Hemptations if you're in the Southwest Ohio area. Shopping online if you are not. It's planeteverywhere.com. And there's CBD spot treatments as well if you're in the Cincinnati area. If you're just swinging through, check it out. There's Toby Spa. There's 4 locations in Southwest Ohio of Hemptations. There's all kinds of places. Maybe one day at the Hemp Museum with edible hemp tickets. You never know. It's all coming together. Now Beach has left us. Hopefully he will return. Unfrozen Beach. Go get the jacket. VPreggae.com. $35 is a really good price for any jacket, much less a hemp jacket. So there you go. So we continue to wait for Beach to finish the news and bring you the events and his beach thought if he has one. Of course, if you have any questions for Beach, hemptations@yahoo.com. Just send them. He'll answer them in email, but then also bring it on the show if it's a good question. Doesn't have to be about hemp. Ask Beach anything, as we often say. Maybe he'll know it, and maybe he won't. But if it's a hemp question, he probably will. If it's, but throw him a curveball, something he may not know anything about. See how quick he is on his feet. The Beach, ask anything. Ask Beach anything. Sorry. Hemptations.com. Hemptations at Yahoo. Send the questions there. Hemptations.com, of course. Locations. All information. Links for this show as well. Links for online shopping. Events coming up. All that stuff. Hemptations.com. I mean, one day if there are museum tours, they'll be listed on there. And you'll be able to get your edible hemp tickets for the museum tours. That would be awesome. You can do them live on the show. Maybe not. Logistically, maybe that won't work. I don't know. A lot of logistics to figure out with stuff like this. We can barely get the internet to work. Becomes overwhelmed. Here, Return of Beach.
Whew. I'm not sure what that was about. I mean, the internet was working, but it was like telling me I couldn't reload. Anyway. So there you have it for the news. There's a little bit of stuff going on, not too much. Get you guys on your day here. December 31st, there is another Sip, Smoke, and Paint in Brooklyn. That's CBD, smoked CBD. So check that out. If you got nothing to do on New Year's Eve in Brooklyn, then that seems crazy. You can attend the Sip, Smoke, and Paint CBD. I think that'd at least be like a very chill New Year's Eve. It sounds like something I'd like to do on New Year's Eve, honestly. And then January 19th, you've got Hemp Past and Future down in Franklin, Kentucky at the Cornerstone Building. January 21st through the 22nd, the Midwest iHemp Expo in Lansing, Michigan. And then end of February, beginning of March, February 20th through March, you've got the 4th Annual Industrial Hemp Summits going virtual. And then, of course, end of March, NOCO. So we'll talk more about that as it gets closer. I don't really have questions. I didn't get any questions this week. I don't have any thoughts. I think I did a very good job of illustrating my thoughts during the news, as I usually do. And so, that being said, remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week for the Christmas show.
Ooh, yes, Hempmas.
That's right.
The Hempmas show. And Kwanzaa, Hemp Kwanzaa. I haven't made up a Kwanzaa Hemp. Kwanzaa Hemp. I like Kwanzaa Hemp.
That's pretty good.
Then, of course, the pagan, the solstice as well. And, of course, nothing says hemp more than solstice, which is celebrating nature. So it's all that we're going to celebrate everything.
Hempy holiday.
Don't forget Hempica, which is we were on the end of Hempica.
That's right.
Celebrate everything. It's the holidays. Peace.